Hey, this is Glover Teixeira, UFC light heavyweight champion.
Hi, I'm Robbie Lawler.
What's up, fight family? This is your favorite MMA coach, Thiago Alves, the Pitbull.
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Pedro Munoz.
Mike Brown.
Guys, I am Alexei Aleniak, and welcome.
And welcome.
And welcome.
And welcome.
And this is We Want One Picks.
And you're watching We Want Picks.
To We Want Picks.
We Want Picks.
To We Want Picks.
To We Want Picks. Hi everybody from American Top.
My name's Angelo, and welcome to We Want Picks. Jacob and I are going to walk through all of our best bets for UFC 270. These are our actual bets that we spent our actual money on, and we're going to walk through them for you. And if you want $50 free, $50 for free from us, just go to wewantpicks.com/bets. Sign up with any one of our 5 betting partners. Just make a deposit. Let me know after you do, and I will send you $50. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, however you want it. Easiest thing in the world, $50 free from us at wewantpicks.com/bets. I'll go first. I don't have a ton of bets, and one of these is already canceled. Jacob has a ridiculous amount, but I actually plan on some live betting type situations. And Jacob, part of my issue this week was I didn't like any money lines because favorites were massive. Underdog, I actually think the odds this week were all pretty correct. So I didn't really like any money lines, but this is what I got going on. So I had a prop bet to Poirier Jourdain over 1.5 rounds minus 130. That fight dropped. That's canceled. But just quick little insight into my brain here. I was very high on Poirier, and as the week went on, I started to wane on that a little bit and be like, man, Charles Jourdain has me a little nervous. I don't know if he's going to win the fight, but he might be able to steal around. And I was like, you know what? The over 1.5 round is probably pretty safe because he's tough. But that dropped. Then we have Simon Oliveira. He's fighting Tony Gravely. I do think Tony Gravely wins by ground and pound, right? I don't know if he'll get a stoppage, but I do think he gets a bunch of takedowns and just mauls on top. Problem is, Tony Gravely's lost 7 times. 6 of those times were by submission. Simon Oliveira is a nasty submission guy. 11 of his wins are by submission. So this is just a tiny little half a unit sprinkle on Oliveira wins by submission at plus 550. It's not the most likely outcome, but it is definitely a very viable outcome. So I figured I'd give that a shot. Then I have Hani Barcelos versus Victor Henry. I did under 2.5 rounds at minus 135. Hani Barcelos is nasty. He's good absolutely everywhere. Victor Henry's a very good striker. His grappling can use a little bit of work, but he's not a bum. It's his UFC debut, and those people get me very worried sometimes, right? Some of those UFC debuts are unbelievably talented, have nothing to lose, and they come in there invigorated, and they do some shocking things. So instead of doing Barcelos by stoppage, I said, let me do the under 2.5 rounds. I do think Hani Barcelos beats Victor Henry and beats him up pretty well. Probably gets a stoppage there, but I would not be surprised if Victor Henry somehow pulls something off. So I threw a quarter unit on the under 2.5 rounds there. Then I have Jack Maddalena wins inside the distance to completely contradict what I just said. He is fighting a UFC debut that only has 4 professional fights. Jack Maddalena has a ton of fights, nasty striker. He's fighting sort of an undersized, very inexperienced striker that just relies on power, and even then it's not like an enormous amount. I think Jack Maddalena wins by mauling. So I have 1 unit on wins inside the distance. And then finally the main event. Listen, pick a lane. It's a very hard fight to call. I mean, we've got Francis Ngannou with the raw power, obviously very talented kickboxer and technical as well, but insane power. Cyril Gane, ridiculous technique, ridiculous footwork, not the same power. So the 2 most likely outcomes in this fight are Francis Ngannou wins by KO or TKO.
Francus.
Or Cyril Gane wins a decision. Those are the 2 most likely outcomes. So you can't bet both sides because the odds actually don't work out, because I thought about that. The odds don't work out for picking both of those bets. So what I did was Francis Ngannou wins inside the distance, but a decision, no action. So if Francis Ngannou stops Cyril Gane, I will get paid at minus 105. And just for reference, Francis Ngannou to win by KO TKO was plus 140. So I do lose some points there, but if Francis Ngannou loses a decision, I get a full refund. I get my money back. The bet never happened. No big deal. I get a refund. That's why I love this bet, because it basically accounts for the two most likely outcomes. And if Francis wins, I get paid. If Cyril wins, I just get a refund, and the bet never happened. You are only going to get that if you go to wewantpicks.com/bets. We have 5 partners. Bet Online is the one partner that offers the wins inside the distance decision no action bet. If you hop in there, you do that, you make a deposit, blah, 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 let me know. I'll send you $50 as a thank you for supporting us and the partners. Those are all of my bets, Jakey boy. That's them. Let's take a look at yours. You went a little wild this week, so here you go. The leash is off.
Not too wild if you look just at total unit, except for the money line bets. The other ones are kind of just half units everywhere. But yeah, these are the real money bets here. We got, first of all, we got the Genaro Valdez Viva Mexico. We have the lock of the week. I feel so good about this. He is a grappler that is going to out-grapple a grappler, and Matt Frevola. I love his opportunity here. The only thing I'm worried about is he's probably going to get, if this fight gets out of the first round, he's probably going to be pretty tired, but he is tough as nails, man. I think he has a very good chance to finish him in the first round. If he doesn't, he is tough enough to withstand whatever, Matt Frevola thinks he has to offer. So I love this. I think Angelo likes Genaro in this fight as well. Not as much as me, but I like this fight. So I have this, and then I have another bet for inside the distance. I think I put 3 units on there, but I think it might actually be 2 for each. Either way, I love Genaro in that bet. And then I have Vanessa Demopoulos lines. The lines is coming. We just got to sign a few papers. I loved her last week, and I was going to put 3 units on her last week. And then because the odds changed, because those last week it was kind of even money, because the odds changed to get kind of the same payout, I added a couple more units, so it's 5 units this week on Vanessa. I love her in this fight. I think she's just going to be tougher than the other girl. And I think a lot of times in girl fights especially, it comes down to who is the tougher girl, because a lot of them are very evenly matched. I think she gets the fight to the ground. I think she can find a finish. I didn't get too aggressive with these two. A lot of times when I'm really sure on someone like Vanessa, I'll go even deeper and be like submission bets, inside the distance bets. With Vanessa, 5 units is enough for me just to win on that -140. Then I have my props. These are my submission specialists. So I have Kay Hansen wins by submission. I took every round half a unit, and then Oliveira wins by submission, half unit every round. Kay Hansen is the favorite. She is the submission person. I think that she's going to be able to get the fight to the ground. It's going to be interesting if Jasmine is able to touch her up early, because she throws a lot of quick 1s and 2s. She's pretty accurate with it. She's not a power puncher, but if she starts touching her up, Kay could panic a little bit, not be able to get the takedown she needs. But if she gets the takedowns, I think she wins by submission. So these odds seem crazy to me. Same for Oliveira too, because this fight's going to go to the ground. And if you've ever seen Simon, Oliveira fight, that dude is relentless, whether he's on top, in scrambles, in his guard, nonstop. He is looking for anything and everything in every single moment. So these submission odds to me were insane. I think you can just take him by submission. You took him just by submission, right?
I did just by submission at +550.
So I went a little bit more aggressive with the picking each round, but plus 1100, plus 1800, plus 2500. That seems crazy to me, because this fight is definitely, Kay Hansen has to get the fight to the ground to get a submission. This fight is going to be on the ground, so half the work is already done for Oliveira. So I like all those bets at half unit, even as the underdog. And then I have some props here, some more props here. So that's the Valdez one I was talking about. I went a little bit more aggressive inside the distance, because he is like a first round cannonball. Will come out, get you to the ground, and just start throwing elbows. So I like him inside the distance, plus 300 against Frevola. Victor Henry, this one I kind of placed at the last second, because it was actually before weigh-ins, but when I was watching weigh-ins, the only person that really caught my eye, and I texted Angelo about this, everyone looked great. The scale actually seemed a little bit light, so it's kind of a shame that Topuria and whoever else, who else didn't make weight? Or the fight got canceled?
Well, it was canceled. It was Rodolfo Vieira.
Yeah, Rodolfo. It's kind of a shame they didn't make it to the scale, because it seemed like everyone was under, a full pound, basically, from what they should have been. And the only person that really caught my eye was Raoni Barcelos, because he looked sucked out. He looked old. I texted Angela. He looked like he's 50 years old. And in this fight, Victor Henry, those young guys, I feel like, Ronnie will probably win the first round. But I think there's a chance there for Victor, if he can stay in it, that he can probably steal a third round. He didn't have to win the fight. I mean, Angelo can explain the way that the plus 3.5 bets go, but he doesn't have to win the fight. He just needs to win one round on all 3 judges' scorecards. And I think that if the fight keeps going on with his youth and energy, I think he can steal a third round, either with a wrestling or with just, just the striking and the tenacity. So plus 170, a little bit of a flyer there, but I put a full unit on it. I don't know if you want to explain the plus 3.
Yeah, so you're basically buying one single round on the judge's scorecard. So it's 3.5 points, and that math is one round. So if Victor Henry wins one round on his own, so in real life, the fight is 29-28. Well, Jacob bought himself another round, and then you end up hitting your bet. So instead of doing Victor Henry money line and needing him to win the entire fight, literally all Jacob needs is Victor Henry to have one good round, win a round. Now, if he gets stopped, you lose your bet. If he gets shut out all 3 rounds, you lose the bet. But it's an opportunity.
And if he gets a finish too, I win the bet.
If you get a finish, you win. If Victor Henry wins in real life anyway, or just has one round on the books, then you hit that bet. You're only going to get that at Bet Online, and you're going to get that at wewantpicks.com/bets. We have 5 partners. Bet Online is the one that has the best MMA props. They just do. The odds can be a little tricky sometimes because they're sharp, but they have the best MMA props. Sign up, make a deposit, let me know. I'll send you $50.
Yeah, so that was one that I placed actually this morning before weigh-ins, and then after weigh-ins, I was like, oh, I feel even better about this to Victor to be able to steal the 3rd round. So then we're going into the parlays. I have a few parlays. The first one is kind of my underdog parlay. I like to stack up, usually it's only 2 underdogs, but this one, I saw 3 that I really, really like. I think we're both high on Valdez. Francis, he's always got that shot. He's always got the ability. And I think we both, I can't remember how high you were on Cody Stamen, but I think he actually wins the fight versus Saeed. I think that Saeed runs into somebody that is just as physical with him and just a little bit tougher and can do everything that he does. So I actually like this underdog parlay a lot. I put a full unit on it at plus 1463. So we'll see what happens there. And then I think my next parlay is more of a favorites parlay rather. So all these are favorites, and that Barcelos kind of covers my 3.5 bet. I had Rodolfo in here. That got canceled. So these odds are actually not updated to the cancellation. So these are the odds if the fight was still happening. So they're going to drop a little bit, but these are favorites. So it's probably going to be a plus 275, plus 300, something like that with Rodolfo out of there. So you can see those are all 3 favorites. I put a full unit on that. And this next one, I'm really, really disappointed that these fights dropped because I loved this over-under parlay. I go through and I look at, what catches my eye. A lot of times it says 1.5 rounds that we feel like the fighters are tough enough to stick it out. Sometimes the 2.5 like this, the Jasmine and K fight. This was also kind of a cover of my submission bets because I have K by submission, but if it goes over 2.5 rounds, then I hit the parlay here. So I have Jasmine K over 2.5 rounds. Rodriguez Maddalena over 1.5 rounds. Jourdain Ilya was over 1.5 rounds. That was canceled. I think we both love that line. Same with Rodolfo and Wellington over 1.5. And then the Francis Gane, I think we both agree, maybe even on that over 2.5. So I was really feeling this. We still have 3 of it, but it's definitely going to drop the odds a lot. It's probably going to be about like plus 7, plus 800, maybe like something like that. But we're still looking live for that. I still love those over-unders on those fights for sure. And I think the last one is the Freckled Salamander parlay. This is my I think it's a full card now. So it was a 13-fight parlay. Now that's only 11. So you guys can go down the list there. That's just kind of what I threw together. Some of them are to cover some previous bets on this. But, I mean, this is just a fun thing. And I think Angela will do a full card parlay with you guys in the live chat on Saturday. And we can see how we stack up against each other. But this is plus 70,000 odds, almost plus 71,000 odds. I put a full unit on it. So if this hits, I will no longer be on the show. I will be in Jamaica probably. And it's been nice knowing you guys.
Yeah, and for reference, I will, Saturday before the fights, I will do another breakdown. We'll go through each fight. We'll talk about it. And I'm going to take your picks from the live chat. We are going to build a full card parlay with your picks. I will lay out the money. I'm just going to throw $10. I'll lay out the money. And then if the parlay hits, I will give all the money back to the members of this channel. I was messing with some full card parlays the other day. I got one up to like $100,000 payout on a $10 bet. Obviously, there's some massive underdogs on this card, but I'm going to use your picks. I'll build the parlay, and if it hits, you get all the money. We're not going to keep any of it. You have to be a member, though, so click the join button under this video and just join our pre-fight live stream at 1 p.m. Central Time Saturday before the fights. And if you want that 50 free bucks, go to wewantpicks.com/bets. Sign up with any of the partners, one or all of them, and I will give you $50 for each individual one. You do 5, I send you $250. Wewantpicks.com/bets. After you make your deposit, let me know, and I'll get you paid. See you on Saturday for the pre-fight live stream.